Hey, how you doing? I'm Adam Post, publisher of College of the Dead, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books, 1,000 independent comic books over 30 years. I'm 49. Actually, I'm 50 now. Still a long time. A lot of comic books. Publisher of College of the Dead, though, it's crowdfunding. Like, that's my new thing now. No comic book store is really just crowdfunding. But guess who also is kind of stepping away from regular distribution? My friend, Peter Simeti. Making moves, taking names, shaking things up. I'm going to tell you all about it, what is going on with Peter Simeti and Alterna Distribution, Alterna Comics, and his whole line of comics. Peter's doing something different. He's doing something that kind of nobody else is doing. It's pretty interesting. I will tell you all about it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications so I can keep you up to date on all these exciting developments. Here's what's going on. So Peter sends a tweet this morning on the Twitter saying, for the time being, and perhaps indefinitely, ordering direct from Alterna will be the only way. It's important he let people know. I was wondering when he was going to send this out because I'd seen his comments, a little bit of back and forth here, talking about what's going on with comic book stores and with Diamond Comics distribution shutting down, at least temporarily, and wondering what Peter is going to do. So Peter is saying here, ordering direct from Alterna, Peter's publishing company, will be the only way for readers and retailers who sell comic books to get their new comic books. Meaning you're not going to get Alterna's comics through stores. Well, actually, you can get them through stores if he's selling to those stores, but you can't get them through Diamond comic distributors. So for customers, it may not be that different. Well, this is a little confusing. This is why he had to make this announcement. So he did a pretty good job of it. He's explained that Alterna is going to be the only way for readers and retailers to get their new comics. They're not going to come through Diamond. He also is mentioning that Alterna Distribution, which he's been planning for the last year, is going to accept product submissions for comics and graphic novels and are still on track to open in June. Alterna Distribution is a separate line of business that Peter is setting up so that he can give other comic book publishers, not Alterna publishers, not Alterna creators who are already publishing under creator. He's going to create under Alterna. He's going to give other publishers the opportunity to sell their comics through Peter's distribution system. Peter's distribution system consists of retailers that he sells direct to. I don't know how many, some, and also consumers that he's developed an email list for and through his website, and you'll be able to sell your comics that way as well. So me as a crowdfunding publisher, if I chose to, would have the opportunity to do that as long as Peter accepted my book. He has specific terms on that. I'll do a video on it, but it's interesting. I like what Peter's trying new things. And I'm really impressed that Peter is stepping out and saying, hey, he's got to get his comics to consumers. He's not going to go out of business, and he's not going to sit there and not know what the heck is going on for 2 or 3 months while Diamond, makes updates and announcements. As far as Diamond's concerned, their major accounts are Marvel and DC. They're thinking about how they're going to keep Marvel and DC happy. And if Diamond knew more, they would probably say more. But Diamond only knows that they're essentially going to do what their major vendors want them to do. That's the nature of the business. They have all the leverage in the relationship, Marvel and DC kind of control what's going on. So Peter is commenting here on this tweet due to news from Diamond that the potential earliest release date for new product will be August. We have canceled all our solicits with them. So what he's meaning to say here is Diamond notified Peter's company, Alterna, either today or yesterday, that they're not going to be distributing any new comics until August for Alterna, for Peter's company. Now, unfortunately, Peter, because he's a small company, he's not getting like top tier information from Diamond. They're not, going out of their way to inform Peter as to what's going on. There's nothing Peter could do about that because he's a small fish in, a medium-sized or smallish pond. Marvel and DC call all the shots basically, and Diamond has some freedom, but not that much. So basically, it's Peter waiting to hear from Diamond when Marvel and DC say it's okay for Diamond to distribute Peter's books. So how is Peter supposed to do business that way? How is he supposed to take care of his fans? How is he supposed to take care of his readers and take care of his creators? He can't. I wrote back to Peter, makes sense. Congratulations, onward and upward towards great comics and great new relationships. So Peter is going to be reaching out and doing things. One quick note about Alterna distribution, the opportunity with that. I trust Peter. Peter is always going to pay his bills. He's always going to deal straight. He's always going to talk straight. The only issue I have with working through Alterna distribution's system, should Peter select a publisher for that system, because it's up to Peter to decide if he wants to work with people and sell their comics, is as a publisher, I like having the direct relationship with the consumer. That's why I'm selling crowdfunding, for my book, College of the Dead. So even though someone could help out a lot and bring in extra sales, you have to think of a publisher of, do you want someone in between your relationship with the customer? So I don't exactly know how Peter works all that out. Maybe he does give you the email addresses of the people who buy your comics if they buy them through his system. I don't know. We'll have to see what Peter says. But that's one thing to always be careful about as a crowdfunding publisher. You're selling direct to consumer. You want to maintain that relationship directly with the customer, especially because when we're doing crowdfunding, some of our larger tiers here, go up to a couple of $100s. So every single customer is worth potentially hundreds or thousands of dollars to me, plus referrals they might do to other people. And you always want to make sure they have the best possible experience and that you can do whatever the appropriate opportunity is to do the most business as possible with a single customer. You want to retain that customer. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. So Bleeding Cool did an article about this. They were interested in Peter's tweet. A lot of us are very interested in what Peter has to say. There's always news wrapped up in Peter Simeti. He's a really interesting guy, cutting edge. And this was their news. And they were talking about basically Peter's tweet, just like we just went through right now. And, Alterna really made the right move here. I was wondering what he was going to do because I know he's in a situation where he's sitting there waiting around for Diamond. And as an independent publisher, if I was in that situation with Diamond, I would have done exactly the same thing. I would have just said, listen, we just need to cancel these outstanding orders for April, May, and June, at least, because we don't know when you're going to open, what you're going to do. And I don't want my customers disappointed, feeling like they can't get the comics. And what's he supposed to tell his creators who made all these comics and have been working on these comics? He wants to get these comics to the readers. So he already had this great direct-to-consumer mail order business that Peter has through the internet site, and he has relationships with retailers. So he can sell those, some of those books at least through retailers. I'm sure Peter doesn't have 2,000 retailer accounts, but he's got to take his business in his hands and try to do something good with it. So Bleeding Cool is impressed, and they're kind of wondering, are other publishers going to follow Peter's plan? Will Diamond not take any new comic books for distribution until August at the earliest? Will they even be allowed to under current limitations with health concerns? So they did a follow-up article because they started to hear this guy Fred saying, don't take Alterna's word for it. Alterna's not making up any stories, Fred. Don't worry about that. That was real time. Fred, we're going to have a talk about you interrupting my live streams and my recorded videos here. Damn you, Fred. No, just joking about Fred. I don't know Fred. Fred doesn't know. Well, I can't say Fred doesn't know me. I'm getting pretty famous now. Anyways, so this is another article that they did. So look, the deal is this. It's unfortunate, but like basically, um, the the letter that the email or letter that Peter got is basically the equivalence of saying, "Hey kid, leave me alone. You bother me," because Peter is one of their small vendors. So basically, what Diamond is hoping to do, I'm sure at this point, is they're hoping to try to maintain their business, and what they need is multi-billion-dollar companies to tell Diamond, like, look, this is what we need you to do to stay in business. So the first things first, as far as Diamond's concerned, is like, listen, all these little guys like Peter, we're going to push them off to the side. It's not Peter's fault. It's not fair to Peter or other small publishers, but it's the major publishers that are going to get most of the attention. Now, supposedly, unless there's a major change in the current shutdown and lockdown orders, Diamond Comic Distributors will somehow be distributing the currently held new comic books, the comic book stores on Sunday, May 17th, arriving in stores shortly after, followed by newly printed comics. Over here it says there may be some delays to certain parts of the U.S., and it'll depend on which stores can and can't accept delivery or put it on sale. And international distribution may take a lot longer. So what this means for future solicitation dates and delivery is also unknown. However, right now, at least they have a ballpark, and things can change. Harold Macmillan once talked about having to deal with the opposition of events. That's the plan. It's been shared by Diamond Comic Distributors to comic book publishers to the big ones. So they're collaborating with the big ones, apparently, to distribute, May 17th as like that's the objective, to try to put major comic book publishers back in business. And I guess that's just kind of the way things work, which is why when you're doing crowdfunding and you're selling direct to consumer and you're controlling that relationship, it's crucial. It's crucial to have a satisfied customer, have somebody who loves your comic, have someone who, whatever's going on in the world, even if you don't do business with them for a month or 2 months because of this crazy thing we have going on in the country and in the world right now where business gets interrupted for a while. If you have a strong customer relationship, you can have that customer forever, right? You can. So, that's what Peter is going to be doing when he's selling direct, and he's focusing on selling direct. And really, Diamond is showing him they can't do for him what he needs to do for his business and what he needs to accomplish. So he's definitely doing the right thing. If I was Peter, I'd be doing exactly what Peter's doing, except I'd be focusing on crowdfunding too, because I'm all about crowdfunding now. It's an incredible opportunity. And speaking of crowdfunding, College of the Dead is all the way up to $17,358. This is more than 5 times what we did on College of the Dead Book 1. This is the sequel. I'm incredibly happy with it. The books are completely done. We're doing test prints this week. We'll be shipping June 2020. And we have a new policy now where anybody who's already backed one of the books, they're able to get a secret link from me at the email address. Just contact me on Indiegogo, or you can get me at adampostmediagroup@gmail.com. And they get free shipping on any other book that they want to add to their order that will ship along with the original order June 2020. Anybody can get the free shipping. All you have to do is buy one book, and you can add on anything else with no additional shipping. And I'm really happy to do that. In the future, I want to figure out how to do more free shipping and more things like that for the backers, because that's really the least I can do. Backers are incredible. Well, thanks again for listening to this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Go ahead and put in the comments any cool comments that you think you might have to say. Do you agree with what Peter is doing? I totally do. I think he's doing the right thing. Let me know. I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.